slash and burn agriculture has been a way Indigenous communities have been surviving in rainforests for centuries, supplemented by hunter and gathering. Now, it's often been criticised as an unsustainable practice, but I'd like to beg to differ. Traditionally, what they do is they'll clear a small plot of land in the rainforest, and then they will burn the remaining vegetation. Obviously, the trees are used to build huts and facilities for the village. Now, the reason why they have to burn is the rainforest soil is very poor because it's so good at absorbing nutrients. The rainforest takes all the nutrients up into the tree canopy. And so if you don't burn the remaining scrub, there's very few nutrients in the soil for which you can grow your crops. And they usually grow the crops for about 3 years until the soil is exhausted, because even so, the rainforest soil, comparatively to temperate climate, is very poor for growing. And then they move on. And they move on step by step through the rainforest. Now, the wonderful thing is that by the time they come back to that patch, it's regenerated into rainforest with all the animals and insects and trees, and the soil has been renewed and the rainforest has been renewed. And this is actually totally sustainable. Now, unfortunately, it's actually not sustainable now, not because the Indigenous practices are silly. They weren't. It's just that the big multinationals have taken the vast majority of land without recognizing Indigenous land rights. And therefore now, because they only have a small plot of land to do their traditional agriculture, they become unsustainable. And what we need to do is, through modern science of silviculture, polyculture, and developing agriculture under a rainforest canopy, is to support the Indigenous communities through the problem into providing them with reduced land, sustainable economies for them to prosper and to feed their children. And this is often quite a challenge, because a lot of the crops and stuff that can grow on the rainforest canopy are high value cash crops, such as vanilla and shade coffee, as two potential examples, but they don't feed you directly. So there needs to be a lot of trust to move from a system where you grow your own food and therefore know your family's secure through your own hard work, to a system where you can probably grow some food, but you also have to grow high value cash crops in order to support your families in the future. And so there's a trust issue here that needs to be overcome, but we can do it. And we're showing with the work we're doing within the ecosystems that we're partnering with, that within 7 to 10 years, we can get these ecosystems paying for themselves and supporting Indigenous communities and allow them to become wealthy and prosperous.